there! My name is burning.inspiration and I'm one of the animators working on The Surface, which is an animated and voice-acted gacha series directed by Red Legend Studios. In case you haven't heard of the series before, it's essentially a story about staying true to who you are, even if you fall outside of what is perceived to be normal. It aims to spread a message against bullying and to look beyond the surface of others. Auditions are open, by the way. Check these links for more information. Today I'm here to show you the rigs that we've been working on, as we've been working on making more expressive models with an extended movement range recently. But before we can even begin to rig our model, we need to draw it first. So let's take a look at one of our main characters, Zoe, and see how she was made into a PSD drawing ready for rigging. So let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk a bit about Zoe now. I'll have a speed paint playing right over here. So, as I've already mentioned, Zoe is one of our main characters in our series The Surface. And Zoe canonically has a bit of a fuller body type, which is unfortunately also one of the things that she gets bullied for. I wanted to make sure this detail of her comes across in her drawing and her rig later on. So what you'll see is that right from the beginning in her sketch, I made sure to make her have a wider figure compared to the standard gacha character body type, and also be including an additional part for her stomach, which gacha PSDs usually don't have, to make it easier to show that body type during her movements. As you might be able to tell already, when it comes to PSDs, you need to draw every single part of the body. This is very important so that you'll be able to rig it later on properly and so that every single part of the model can be moved against each other. This is time-consuming, but necessary. You'll be able to say that I separate things like the face, the eyes, the mouth into like the tongue and the teeth and everything. I separate every piece of the hair, I separate every piece of the clothes, the shoes even, so that they'll be able to turn as well. This is all important and necessary, even if time-consuming. So, a finished PSD, I think Zoe had like 120 different pieces that in the end had to be rigged and moved against each other, which is honestly still on the low end, considering that Zoe has 2 entire outfits. But that's beside the point. Like I said, you have to like separate and render each individual piece. When it comes to the rendering of a surface, I go for a more cel-shaded look, since that's what we have settled on. You can, of course, render your PSDs in whichever way you wish, but this is just the style that we have settled on for the surface and that we've been using for a while now. So, once we've got our PSD, we are ready to go into rigging. So let's move on to that, and I will show you a rig that we've made. To switch it up a bit, I'm actually going to show you the rig for Nathan, who's another one of our main characters, and basically Zoe's friend. So I'll show you his rig instead to add some variety. Alright, so here we are in Live2D Cubism, which is an animation software that we in The Surface use both for rigging and for animating. And here we have Nathan's model. As you can see, he's also cut up into all sorts of little parts. And Nathan, in comparison to Zoe, has more of a thinner body type in comparison to the standard body type that you would usually see with gacha characters. Now, the main new feature that these models have is a 180-degree head turn. So if I take this head angle XY parameter and to move it around, you can see that this model can actually turn its head completely to the left and completely to the right to have a profile view and a 180-degree turn or degree of motion. Of course, it can also tilt to the side in an angle Z parameter. But this is the main new feature that we've been including into all of our main characters' rigs now. The rest of this category is just standard, movement for a hobbled rig. So we have the breathing motion, we have the body can turn to the side as well, although not quite as far, but it can also go up and down. The body can move to the side. We have basic arm and leg motions. In case you don't know what draw order is, it basically controls the position of the different meshes. So if I turn this down, you'll see that the arm is now behind the body. Whereas if I turn it up, it's going to be above the body again. It's basically just what draw order is, kind of self-explanatory. The hands can rotate as well, which not every rig can, but we've decided to do it, just for more expressiveness. There are 6 different hand shapes, just like Zoe. This is just the other arm, also with draw order and the hands. The legs, of course, have multiple joints as well. The shoes actually move independently of the body, just for some added dynamics. And of course, we can also change the draw order here, so that one leg can be above the other or not, depending on what is necessary. I'm going to reset the parameters real quick. Here we have a category that controls the facial expressions. So here we have our eye parameters. So each eye can close or open very widely, independently of each other. We have a smile parameter, which changes the form of the eye, just for more expressiveness and more control. The irises can move independently, which also moves the sparkle a little bit, because that looks more dynamic. The size is independent of each other. So you can make silly expressions like this, although this probably won't be used on the surface that much. This isn't very well visible on Nathan because his hair is so dark, but the eyebrows can also be moved both in position and also in their shape, which is a fluid parameter, so you can use any of these in between shapes as well. The mouth is controlled for 3 parameters. We have the basic form, which has 5 different keyframes with different forms. We have the mouth open parameter, which, well, opens the mouth and also has all these different keyframes. As you can see, the teeth are closed because those are controlled with a different parameter. This is just to make lip syncing easier, because you can control how far open you want the mouth and the teeth. There is a tear expression. Teardrops included, which can go up and down the face, so that it actually looks like the character is crying. And of course, no dramatic gacha story. No emotional gacha story is complete without the black face shadow. That's just necessary at this point. Here we have mostly physics. Of course, Nathan also has 2 outfits, his uniform and his more casual outfit. And then over here we mostly have physics. So different physics like XY physics or bending physics. So over here we have outfit physics. And then in this category we have hair physics, which personally I like to divide into 2 sets of physics. Here we have basic XY physics, and here we have more bending physics, like a swaying motion. I'll open up the physics window real quick to show you what the physics look like in action. As you can see, here we have the full degree of motion again, hair swinging, tie swinging, jacket has a bit of physics as well. Here we have the alternate casual outfit, which also has a bit of physics on the sweater. And of course the hair physics stay the same. I'd say it just swings from left to right mostly. Of course we can manually adjust this when we're actually doing the animating. This is just a preview using the physics simulation of Live2D. So yeah, this is what our new rigs look like now with their extended movement range. And that's what we're going to be using to animate the surface. Like I said in the beginning, auditions are open. You can check out, I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out. And otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you another time. There are of course also 6 different... Seriously, cat? My cat just jumped up on the desk. And I'll also be including an additional piece for his stomach to make... talking! Oh my goodness. This was like the best one so far. Alright then, so let's not... Let's try that again. So what you're going to see is that my head is glitching out. Hold on. Recording version 2, take... I don't even know how many. Let's just get this going.